topic today, Steve?
Wow, today's topic is the high cost of rent.
Well, you can almost understand why millennials are mad at boomers after we looked at apartments today.
We sure did. We looked at apartments of a new development and we were shocked.
We were just driving around. Steve's on vacation and we've been running errands and we didn't even know these apartments were there. Brand new. And they just sprang up.
Sprang up.
They just sprang up overnight. I mean, they weren't there yesterday. Well, we don't go that way because we were driving around.
Yeah.
And there were so many of them.
They look nice, and then we thought, well, you know something, we're here, so let's go in and see if we can see one or two of them.
Really didn't think that they would let us see the apartments, because when I went apartment shopping with my daughter years ago, they were brand new apartments, a different set, and they said we needed an appointment. So I really thought we would need an appointment. But the leasing manager was not in, and a man, well, we were waiting outside, we couldn't get in, and it was actually a beautiful day, about 50. And he opened the door and said, "Are you going to stay in the cold all day?" That's not how he said it. He's like, "Come in out of the cold." And he was not very friendly at all. You know, Steve said...
But he did say he was the manager.
Did he say he was the manager?
He said he was the manager.
Oh, because I think I asked him his title later.
Yeah.
But he didn't say...
So what is
when he told us to come in, he didn't say his title. No, when he told us to come in... He's like, "I don't know where the leasing manager is. I don't know." And like, he didn't want to be bothered.
Leasing agent, yeah.
Leasing agent. I don't know where the leasing agent is. He didn't want to be bothered. And Steve said, "Well, we're thinking about downsizing and we're looking at apartments." Well, instantly he looked down like, well, I mean, he just stuck his nose in there. He just stuck his nose there like, "You people are so beneath me. I don't want to be bothered with you apartment people." And I'm thinking, do you really need to be in a job working with apartments if you think people renting are beneath you? And when you hear what they wanted you to pay, I think they have to make more money than he makes to afford this rent.
Even though it was that sort of introduction, he did take the time to show us an apartment first. I
think we kind of forced him to.
Well, we kind of talked about what the rents were and the other costs and fees, and then we said, well, we want to see an apartment, and you know, nobody's really living there because they're still building them, and I think that maybe there was one or two apartments that were rented.
He said one moved in yesterday and one moved in today. They've got 2 people renting.
Right.
And they had, how many? 6 buildings?
Yeah, they had 262
apartments and 6 buildings.
Right. So he took us to see a 1 bedroom, and
so I've got some pictures. I was sneaking pictures, trying not to let him see. I mean, I didn't want to ask permission. I thought he might yell at me again. So I just took some pictures. It's dark, but here's the bathroom, closet, big, huge closet. Tiniest bedroom ever. I think it's smaller than our bedroom now. I was wondering if our bed would even fit in there. And then the living room, family room, whatever you want to call it, very tiny. Nice kitchen. I would say the nicest thing in the apartment was the kitchen. It was so funny. Nice. It had the most storage and the nicest counter to sit at. Yep. And nobody cooks. The nicest room in the apartment was the kitchen, and nobody cooks. Yeah. I thought that's ironic.
Nice cabinets.
You put a lot of cabinets, a lot of storage. So you put everything into the kitchen when everybody picks up or eats out. That is weird. I think I would have liked a bigger.
Yeah, now it may be a little different where you live, but I'm just saying that what we're saying is in the South here, there's a lot of people who don't cook.
I think in general, that's why there's so many restaurants.
In general, yeah. I mean, they either pick up or
DoorDash or whatever.
Or, yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking we might have to store our clothes in those cabinets because there wasn't a lot of. I mean, the closet was pretty decent, but there's no way we could fit into it. He said it was 784 square feet, and it did not look that to me.
784 square feet. So, I guess if you're a single person and you work a lot, that you just want a place to keep your stuff and go home and sleep.
Well, you have to work a lot to pay that rent.
Well, that's true.
You probably had to work 3 jobs. You're probably working 7 days a week for that one tiny little bedroom. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a good size for a 1 bedroom, although it didn't look like. I guess because it was all in the kitchen, because it just didn't.
Right.
But that bedroom's so small.
Mm-hmm.
And let's
The bathroom was nice.
Well, let's talk about. Oh, it was a little small as well. What we didn't like in the bathroom was the tub. I mean, at our age, we would like a shower. We don't. This tub was particularly wide.
If you like tubs, it was a nice tub.
But it was a big.
If you like tubs,
it was a wide step.
Yeah.
A wide step into
huge.
the tub. No handrails. No
handrails.
No handrails for
yeah.
older people.
And so
the tub was a large tub for a bath, but.
But it was small for a shower. I mean, a step over the wall. And in the tub itself was not a lot. It was an oval, and it was pretty tight oval.
So we didn't like that for our age. No shower option, just a tub for the 1 bedroom. So I asked him about other fees.
The rent was what, $2,500?
Oh, no. This one, the rent for this one was almost $1,800. We'll just round up to $1,800.
Okay, $1,800.
And then I asked about additional fees. Apartments are so different today than when we were in an apartment. When I lived in an apartment, you took your own trash to the dumpster, and water was included in rent. So everything's changed because he says $25 a month for water, $5 a month for bug spraying. He goes, unless you don't want it. I was like, $5?
Was it $5 for bug spray?
Yeah, that's
or
what
was
he
it
said.
$25?
No, it was $5, and it was $20, $20 more for the amenities, so it was $50 more. Then if you have dogs, it was a $350 non-refundable,
yeah.
and $25 per dog. Now wait.
Per month.
Then what was the $100? Oh yeah, and then there was a garage for $150. So if you add that, it was $150, $25, and $25, right? No, we have 2 dogs.
And you have the garage.
We have 2 dogs. $150 for the garage, $50 for the 2 dogs, plus the $50 you're giving him. So that's $150 plus $150. So it's $300 more. So it's $1,800. So it's $2,100 for the. So that's $2,100 for the tiniest.
1 bedroom.
1 bedroom that we could never. I mean, you wouldn't have an office or an area. I mean,
No, but there was a conference room upstairs.
Oh yeah, a real nice.
that
Yeah,
you could
and
use.
we'll show you that
And
too.
you'll see some pictures of that. That was pretty nice, and that was open to everybody in the facility to use.
But I was thinking everybody's gonna be fighting over that. If they're all working out of their apartment, those walls close it on you, and everybody will be fighting over that conference room, or those. Some were just cubicles or desks.
And when you walked in, they were all 8-foot doors and looked like 12-foot ceilings. And there was a coffee machine in the lobby that
You get free coffee for that $2,100 a month. You get free coffee.
You get free coffee. So there's the savings right
Okay,
there.
so then we're like, okay, there's no way we could fit into this. So he showed us the 2-bedroom, which I didn't give very many pictures because he was right there. He wouldn't leave us. And when you came in, there's a nice little coat rack with just for 2 coats, very small.
Two coats and like 2
pairs of shoes.
2 pairs of shoes.
And the kitchen was right there, just like that. They're just like that was the same. The living room was the same.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
the bedrooms were pretty much the same. Now the difference was the bathroom in the two
Yeah.
bedrooms.
You had an ensuite in the primary bedroom, although it was the same. The primary bedroom was the same size as the secondary bedroom, but it had an ensuite to it, and it had a walk-in shower.
Shower. That was what we wanted. It had a nice shower. And then the second bedroom was even nicer. The bathroom was not attached, but it had two closets. I thought, okay, the second
Yeah.
bedroom has two closets.
Two closets.
Why did they get two closets?
I don't know.
I guess if you have to go to the bathroom across the hallway, you get two closets if you're two roommates. Do you want the bathroom attached or the two closets?
Right, and in there it had the bathtub, with garden tub,
It
right?
had the garden tub.
Had a big
The one we don't
garden
like.
tub.
We don't even like it in our house. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
If I built a house and could get rid of it, I never liked garden tubs. I'd rather have the space. I'd rather have storage space or something than a garden tub.
Yeah.
Because the water never stays hot. By the time you fill it up, it's cold, and who wants a cold bath?
And it did have a small linen closet in the primary.
Which the one bedroom did not have. So it had a
Right.
little bit more, I guess a lot more storage.
Right.
But for that storage,
Yeah.
this apartment he didn't even know. He said it was between $2,200 and $2,500, which I assume is probably $25 plus those $300, so it's $2,800.
I think you're getting close to 3,000 a month.
But when he said the apartment is $2,500 a month before fees,
Yes, I said that's not too bad.
and I tried not to choke. $2,500 before those $300 of fees. Okay, let's put this in perspective.
I was trying to encourage
Let's put this
him.
in perspective. Our highest mortgage ever, from my memory, was I believe $1,600 in New York. $1,600.
And that was years ago. That was years ago.
But the point is, there's no way we could afford $2,800, $3,000.
Right.
Throw away
right.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, millennials, I do understand, but it's not just millennials looking for apartments.
Right.
Boomers are looking too. I've seen story after story that millennials are mad that boomers won't sell their houses so they can move into their house.
There's
well,
nowhere to go.
yeah, we have been looking for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years for affordable housing, and we can't find it. You can move to a small town in East Tennessee where you may not be close to a hospital, or they may shut down because it's rural. That's your option. I've looked into that. It'd be an older house.
Or in North Georgia. It'd have to be, the point is, it would have to be a small town.
I don't even think North
out
Georgia.
in the middle of
I don't think
nowhere.
North Georgia even has, because it's near the mountains. I think even North
Yeah.
Georgia is more expensive.
Yeah. So it would be out in the middle of nowhere, and
Or the Rust Belt.
Or the Rust Belt.
Ohio,
And-
Wisconsin, Michigan, maybe Buffalo, where you might be able to get an old 2-bedroom house that's from the 50s that's, hasn't been renovated, is poorly insulated, and if it's in New York, it's going to be high property tax. Now, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, you may find something that's affordable, but again, yeah, if it's a Rust Belt, the hospitals are closing, there's no
Right.
jobs.
Right.
So,
Right.
and it's freezing cold, and I'm cold in Georgia.
Yeah.
How can I live in cold states when I'm cold in Georgia?
That's right.
I don't-
Today is the first warm day in
Yeah,
a couple weeks.
after that weather.
Yeah.
After that weather.
And it's coming back.
So I was pretty discouraged after today.
Really. So it was a little discouraging. And that's a brand new apartment complex. It's still being built. I can imagine.
Our daughter had an old apartment, very old, from the 80s, and she didn't
From
pay.
the 80s.
She didn't pay much less.
Yeah.
She did
true.
not pay much less than that, and
True.
it was what 45 years old.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you could say, I'm going to get an apartment from the 80s and pay. It may have been, gosh, it was only maybe $300 less. Which,
Well, I think that everybody's making money.
and then her utilities, you would think an older apartment would have higher utilities. I remember when I lived in South Carolina, my first apartment, I remember getting my first heating bill in South Carolina. And it was like, and this was over 35 years ago, it was $200, and I almost died. I could barely eat the rest of the month. I was like, what? This is it does get cold in January and February in South Carolina, like Georgia. But $200 30 years ago, well, that's even more than our bill is today.
Yeah, yeah.
That's even more in an apartment. Our bill isn't even $200 here in this house. It is greatly, it is insulated very well. It's 4 years old, and we do keep it. Of course, we keep it cooler. That's why we dress heavily at home. And Sammy wears her sweaters because we do keep it cooler in the, but not freezing, but cooler.
Sammy's complained. I've seen her over there trying to turn the thermostat up or turn the fireplace on.
We don't have a fireplace. We don't have a
Well,
fireplace.
she doesn't know that. And so we got her these sweaters to keep her warm. Right, Sam?
We bought a little
Sam?
electric fireplace that you plug in. We don't have a fireplace here, but
And we did that purposely.
I had wanted to put in a wood-burning stove. We've never had one. And I always thought if we lose our power, which a lot of people do with that little snowstorm, you'd have the wood-burning stove. But we
Right.
never did do that. It was very expensive, although at the time they did have a tax credit at the time. But wood-burning stoves, I think it was $2,000, which doesn't sound expensive today. I mean, that was when we moved in 4 years ago, so it's probably double. Plus, there's no tax credit anymore. Right, the tax credit's gone. The stove's probably $4,000, and then I thought there's a hassle of always starting the fire.
Right.
And
So,
the fire
so looking at apartments, a little discouraging. Not saying we're not going to still look,
Well,
but I don't think we're moving anytime soon.
Well, Steve's more interested in the tiny homes now. Although we had a video on, I don't know if it's a
Set this
modular
right.
home, manufactured
Set this
home, RV, I don't know
There
the
you go.
technical name, but it was a 1,500 square foot one.
Yeah,
for
it was pretty nice.
138,000. That was, about a year ago.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
It was
But then
pretty
you
nice.
got to buy the land, you got to prepare the land, which is probably 20,000. And I mean, honestly, if you're gonna pay 2,500 a month,
Same.
which we're not. I mean, I'm tempted to get the RV, or I don't know. That's what we don't know what to do because, I mean, we don't know what to do. We don't want to move. Moving is expensive. You got the moving van, the hookup fees, and then things don't fit or whatever. So moving's very, very costly. So we don't want to make a mistake and move again. We can't afford that. At our ages, we can't afford to move. So we got to make a good decision. And that's why we're taking our time. And I don't know. Do you think rents are coming down? I heard house prices should be coming down soon. I don't think rents will come down with them. And how do you think that somebody, because you have to have 3 times your income. So if it's $2,500 a month, you have to make $7,500 a month, right? And what did I say that is? 90, I don't remember. 7,500, 7,000 times 12 is 84 plus
Same.
500. Yeah, it's 90,000. So you have to make 90,000 a year to afford this apartment. That was for the 2-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying the only way people can afford this if they have 4 people. I mean, the average income. What is the average income today? I think it's only 60. What is it?
65,000.
Maybe 65.
Maybe.
That's average.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people make less than that.
Some people make more than
A
that.
lot. Well, I think college graduates make usually 80 to 100 if you have a good degree. But people who maybe didn't go to college or teachers, they're not going to make. Well, teachers I think here start out at 45. Which I think, like in New York and Illinois, it's quite a bit higher, but I think it's 45 or so. And then you might be able to do tutoring or teach summer school or whatever. Okay, if you have 2 teachers, that's 90. You could afford a 2-bedroom. If you have 2 teachers, you can afford a 2-bedroom.
You get the 2-bedroom apartment.
But then you have no savings for that house you want to buy.
That's right. You eventually want to get out of the apartment.
That's why tiny homes are good. I do have many, many concerns with tiny homes after we have so many high winds here. And even if we move to, say, North Carolina, they had that hurricane hit. I think I'm most afraid of tornadoes, high winds, things of that nature, or having issues. A lot of companies take your money and you don't get your home. There's a lot of issues with tiny homes. So we've been a little reluctant on that end. So honestly, we do not know what to do. We'd like to see maybe if there's rent control, which that's not real big in the South. Based on income.
Mm-hmm.
Rent control based on income, maybe something like that. We'll probably be looking for quite a while because we are still trying to declutter and get rid of things. We don't want to move until Sierra's gone. We don't want to be moving 2 dogs. Sierra's 13 and a half, almost 14, and she's starting to struggle a little bit. And so we don't want to move. I mean, whatever. So we're going to keep looking. You tell us if you have the ideal home solution. From watching YouTube, I don't think a lot of people do. By a lot of older people, and again, boomers are the fastest growing homeless population. A lot of older boomer women are living in their cars, vans, or incredible tiny homes in Tennessee, or RVs, or whatnot. So
don't forget to comment below if you have some home options that make sense, and give us a thumbs up. Also hit notifications, like, subscribe. Okay, and remember,
subscribing is free, so please take a minute and do that. And until we see you again,
take it easy.